At 6:15 on December 19th, 1944, Oberst Friedrich Karl von Waldenburg crawls through frozen mud toward the American supply depot outside Stavelot, Belgium, diesel and gunpowder, cutting through air at 24 degrees Fahrenheit. 42 years old, commanding officer of the 116th Panzer Division's reconnaissance battalion, 4 years of Eastern Front service. One of the most experienced logistics-trained commanders still alive in the German army. Von Waldenburg stands 6 feet 1 inch, weighs 185 pounds, lean and angular, face carved by cold and short rations into something sharp. Brown hair gone gray at the temples. A scar runs from his left ear to his jawline, earned at Kursk in 1943, when a T-34 shell fragment took 3 centimeters of skull. His hands never fully stopped shaking after that wound. He grew up in Potsdam, Prussia, son of a career Heer artillery officer. His mother taught school. A younger sister, Margot, last contacted in October near Dresden. Von Waldenburg married Ingrid in 1938. Her letters arrived months late. News about rationing worsening and Allied bombers hitting Leipzig nightly. He has not heard from her in 6 weeks and does not allow himself to think about why. Hitler launched the Ardennes Offensive on December 16th. 20 divisions, 200,000 men, smashing through a thin American sector. The plan? Cut Allied supply lines, capture Antwerp, force peace. Von Waldenburg's battalion was assigned the spearhead, pushing west toward the Meuse River, 45 kilometers away. His men believed this could change everything. They had no reason yet to doubt that. His battalion carried limited resources. 14 SDKFZ 234/2 armored cars mounting 30mm Mk103 autocannons. 23 Opel Blitz trucks holding 8,400 liters of diesel. Ammunition, 42,000 rounds of 30mm cannon fire, 180,000 rounds of 7.92mm MG42 for the entire offensive. Enough fuel for 80 kilometers. High Command promised captured American depots would sustain the advance beyond that. Reconnaissance confirmed the target. A Quartermaster Corps depot across 4 acres east of Stavelot, defended by 38 soldiers from the 168th Engineer Battalion with M1 Garand rifles and 2.50 caliber M2 Browning machine guns on sandbag positions. Von Waldenburg studies photographs at 0545. 2 platoons flank left through the tree line. 1 engages frontally from 600 yards. The rest cut the southern escape route. At 600, the assault begins. 30mm cannons open fire from 600 yards. Tracers stitch burning orange lines across frozen ground. American Brownings answer, deep staccato booming across the depot. Von Waldenburg watches from 800 yards back. Bullets crack overhead. 2 German soldiers take hits. 1 chest wound, 1 shattered leg. Neither screams. The cold does that. By 0620, the flanking platoons reach the tree line. 8 SDKFZ 234. S break cover simultaneously, 30mm cannons blazing from converging angles. American emplacements disintegrate. Sandbags explode outward. At 0623, sporadic M1. Garand fire stops entirely. Radio crackles. His lieutenant reports the garrison destroyed or surrendering. 26 prisoners emerge with raised hands. 12 Americans fled into the frozen forest. Von Waldenburg does not pursue them. The depot matters more than 12 men. Von Waldenburg moves forward on foot at 0635 with Hauptmann Klaus Richter. They cross the torn perimeter fence. 3 dead Americans near the eastern position. The depot stretches before them. Warehouse after warehouse. Perfectly organized. Perfectly labeled. Perfectly stocked. Von Waldenburg walks in silence across frozen gravel. Smoke drifts from destroyed emplacements. Richter says nothing. Something has shifted between them. Neither names it. He pulls open the first warehouse door. Inside, 60 brand-new GMC CCKW 2.5-ton trucks sit in perfect rows, keys in ignitions, tanks full. His entire division possesses 140 trucks, most broken. Von Waldenburg touches the nearest hood. Still warm from that morning. Richter stands frozen beside him, mouth open, calculating the same impossible mathematics already running through his commander's mind. 60 trucks, one warehouse. Von Waldenburg walks deeper. At 0710, his ordnance officer, Lieutenant Hermann Steiger, begins inventory. Numbers climb. 840,000 rounds of .30-06 ammunition, 180,000 rounds of .45 ACP, 4,200 rounds of 105mm howitzer shells. His battalion received 42,000 rounds for this entire offensive. One depot holds 20 times that allocation. Steiger keeps reading numbers aloud. Von Waldenburg stops listening. He stops walking entirely. He stands perfectly still between ammunition crates, 28 degrees Fahrenheit, breath in white clouds. The realization strikes not as thought, but as physical weight settling into his chest. This depot was not critical to the Americans. They did not fight hard to hold it. They left it behind without hesitation. And somewhere ahead, dozens more exactly like it wait, untouched, fully stocked, impossible to exhaust. If you want to see how von Waldenburg's devastating discovery affected the German offensive, and what ultimately became of this man who saw the war's truth before almost anyone else, please hit that like button. It helps us share more stories about forgotten moments that changed history. Subscribe if you haven't already. Back to von Waldenburg. Von Waldenburg does not sleep. At 0200 on December 20th, temperature 18 degrees Fahrenheit, he sits on an ammunition crate, smoking a captured Lucky Strike. His men load trucks by flashlight, taking everything possible. It will not matter. He already knows this. The mathematics are beyond argument, beyond hope, beyond any adjustment any general could devise or any miracle deliver. By 0600, his battalion loads 23 Opel Blitz trucks completely full. They take 12 of the 60 captured GMCCCKW trucks, fueled, running. They carry 180,000 rounds of .30-06, 40,000 rounds of .45 ACP, 8,000 rations, 120 drums of diesel. They leave behind more than they take. Von Waldenburg orders the remainder destroyed. 3 hours of demolition shake windows 3 kilometers away. Hauptmann Richter finds him afterward in the wreckage. Black smoke rises into gray sky. Richter asks what he will report to command. Von Waldenburg thinks a long time. He says he will report everything accurately, every number, every item. He owes his superiors the truth, even when that truth functions as a weapon pointed back at Germany. Richter nods. Neither speaks again for hours. Von Waldenburg writes his after-action report December 21st in a farmhouse 12 kilometers west of Stavelot. He documents everything Steiger inventoried. Trucks, ammunition, rations, fuel, medical supplies, clothing, precise clinical German, stripped of opinion. But the numbers themselves carry the opinion. Any Wehrmacht officer reading this report understands what von Waldenburg understood at 0710 on December 19th inside that depot. The report reaches 116 Panzer Division headquarters December 22nd. General Major Otto Waldo reads it personally. Later testimony from captured German officers confirms Waldo read the report twice, set it down, and said nothing for minutes. He then ordered staff to calculate how many such depots existed across Allied-held France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. When the answer came back, the entire room went silent. Von Waldenburg's battalion advances west through December 23rd and 24th. They hit two more American supply positions, both smaller, both confirming Stavelot. Near Malmedy, they capture 34 additional GMC trucks, 60,000 rounds of ammunition, 5,200 gallons of gasoline. Von Waldenburg records the numbers mechanically. The shock has passed. What remains is cold understanding that cannot be undone by any force. The Battle of the Bulge turns against Germany by late December. Patton's Third Army rolls north. Von Waldenburg's battalion fights a rearguard action December 28th near Bastogne, losing 4 SDKFZ, 234 seconds to M4. Sherman tanks and 76mm guns, 11 killed, 23 wounded. They retreat east toward Germany, carrying captured American rations, smoking captured American cigarettes the entire way back. Von Waldenburg survives the war. French forces capture him April 3rd, 1945, near Trier, without a shot fired. His battalion no longer exists. 42 men remain from the original 340. He enters a prisoner camp near Metz. Allied intelligence officers interview him repeatedly about German logistics. He cooperates fully. He tells them about the Stavelot depot without ever being asked to do so. His testimony becomes historically significant. Allied historians later cite von Waldenburg as one of the clearest German perspectives on how industrial disparity destroyed Wehrmacht morale in the war's final year. He describes Stalingrad as worse than any battlefield defeat he witnessed. Combat defeats could be explained by tactics or bad luck. The depot could not be explained. It simply existed. America simply produced more. Released March 1946, he returns to Potsdam, now inside the Soviet occupation zone. Ingrid had died in a RAF bombing raid on Leipzig in November 1944. His sister Margot survived in Hamburg. He finds her in June 1946. They have little to say. The war took different things from each of them. Neither understands what the other truly lost. The silence never breaks. He rebuilds quietly in West Germany, settling near Margot in Hamburg. He works as a civil engineer designing post-war infrastructure. He never discusses the war publicly, joins no veterans groups, writes nothing. In 1962, a Wehrmacht historian contacts him for an oral history. Von Waldenburg agrees to one interview. He speaks for 4 hours. The Stavelot depot occupies 40 minutes of it. Friedrich Karl von Waldenburg dies March 14, 1971, in Hamburg, age 69, from a heart attack, buried in Ohlsdorf Cemetery under a simple headstone. Name, dates, rank, no medal, no citation. What he found at Stavelot was not heroism. It was one man seeing clearly that his country had already lost and carrying that knowledge silently for 26 remaining years of his life. If you found von Waldenburg's story compelling, how one man's discovery at a supply depot revealed the inevitable outcome of the war, please like this video and subscribe for more untold stories from history's turning points.